I'm sorry, society did not fail man. Man failed man, and man thereby failed all of society. Okay? Listen to this. If you say X failed something, you must also be saying X is accountable for that failure. Okay? Now look who orchestrate the entirety of society. Most of it, maybe not entirely, but there's some few people who orchestrate nearly the entirety of society. Okay? These are people like Elon Musk, Donald Trump, other ultra wealthy people, and if you go down the list, it will be pretty damn far before you find a woman. Okay? It's mostly older guys, certainly older than the young men who are very misled right now, misled as we speak. The problem is there's a failure in logic, and we have to communicate this very clearly. It's very clear. Old men have not only failed young men, old men have convinced that it's women, particularly young women, that failed young men. And this is lunacy because anyone outside of this insane rhetoric would be able to see. You got, again, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Joe Rogan. You've got Alex Jones, Nick Fuentes, Charlie Kirk, Andrew Tate, Sneeko. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Isn't it very clear it's older men leading younger men astray? Like, how is this got to do with women at all? But I understand why they would say this. Because for a lot of young men, they actually become, they act deep down, they want to become one of the patriarchs. Oh, I know this hurts. I know I'm gonna get comments. People gonna try to argue with me. No, that's not true. Okay, because as much as we say young men may not have a lot of life experience, maybe they're not educated. You know, maybe their mental development in terms of their neurology is not at the peak. Now, all of those are factors. Sure, the problem is young men aren't that dumb. Okay, and I don't like it. I don't like how young men are playing dumb, and this very annoying because it's pretty clear they know they're playing dumb, and this is very sad. Honestly, you know it's not women's fault. You know it's not their fault because you know they don't got no power over you. Okay, you create. You're in the manosphere. You're digging all these. You know these arguments are faulty. You know they're illogical. You know the dots don't connect. You know that's internal contradiction. There are more contradiction per sentence in the manosphere than there are in the Bible. That's a very low bar to clear. Okay? And you know this to be true. You know misogyny is wrong. Don't tell me you don't got no conscience. You don't got no moral compass. Okay? You do. But the thing is, sometimes you feel to be a patriarch, you need to abandon your conscience, which is actually not wrong. If you say that, you're actually not wrong, okay? And that's what you did. Your conscience is telling you, hey, it's not right to abuse women. And it's clearly not their fault. I mean, clearly, they don't control the military. They don't control the economy. They don't control legislature. They don't control politics. They don't control media. They don't control nothing. They don't control anything. Right? And if someone doesn't have the power to control the society which is working against you, how can it be their fault? But you know this to be true. But you would dig arguments such as women are doing backstage things that has some network effect on some men that has a hidden influence on young men. It usually goes something like that. Okay. We could reserve that. We don't have to deny that. But how about this? How about the men who are actively griefing and grifting y'all? I mean, you know who they are, and you know. Come on, you know. You're not stupid. You know they're doing this to make money from your disenfranchisement. You know that. Okay? You're not stupid. I don't want to treat you like you're dumb. You're not dumb. Okay? You are lacking in a lot of discipline. Because you are thinking you will abandon morality, you will abandon ethics, you will abandon kindness, and again, your conscience, your compass of what you know is morally right. You will do that so you can make it. So you look at these manosphere hacks and you know they're hacks. You're not stupid because you're not stupid. You know they're hacks. And you want to be just like them. You want to abandon all of your morals. And that includes throwing women under the bus. Because they got up doing that. So if you want to go up, you got to be like them. That's how you think inside. You're not stupid. Please don't pull this, I was young and dumb, okay? Everyone was young and dumb before. But not everyone was a tater tot, okay? Not every young man was a tater tot. Not every person who is involuntarily celibate wants women to suffer the worst fate ever. Okay? You buy into those sentiments because you think that's going to help you get ahead. Okay? Women do not betray you. You betrayed women. Okay? And you betrayed other men too who will suffer a horrendous fate because you voted for a guy who is, well, actually, he's not even the worst among these manosphere people, but he'll rank somewhere there. Okay? You voted for a guy who will do some of the things that will apply across the board. Okay? You sold out women. You sold out men of color. You sold out your neighbor. You might have sold out your own son or your father who may be a part of a union now that he's going to enact Project 2025 and cut your, maybe cut your job. You may have sold out yourself, okay? You bought in with your vote and you were in clear consciousness when you did this. Don't tell me you were tipsy, okay? I know drunk voting is not an offense, but you're probably not drunk, okay? I hope you're not. And if you did, don't do that again. That's not a good way to move forward. You knew it would happen, okay? And now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, okay, these 4 years are looking to be horrid. How can I shift the blame from me to, again, women, other men, the Russian man? You know what you're going to do? I can tell if everything doesn't go the way that you thought it would go because you sold everyone out, you think you're going to get ahead, okay? Is that Donald Trump will screw up, Elon Musk will have the crowd turn against him, and you'll be part of that crowd. You will sell out anyone, young man. Young man, you will, not all of you, okay? But a lot of you will sell out anyone. If Donald Trump became a legitimate public point of hatred and a public enemy number one, and shit is going down, you know what you're going to do? I can't really tell what you're going to do. You're going to say, Donald Trump led me astray when I was young and vulnerable. That's what you're going to do. You're going to say, well, I was young and impressionable, and Donald Trump and his surrogates has took control of Fox News and all these media and the Newsmax, and like they manipulated me. Then you just turn against Trump, okay? You're going to turn against him. You're definitely not going down in the graves with him. Not a lot of you will do that. And actually, if you actually do that, I will actually have some respect for you. If you will withstand the 20% tariff, I will actually have some modicum of respect for you, honestly. And if you're a Hispanic man that voted for Trump, and you actually get deported, now I hope that don't happen, but if that happens, and you're like, you know what? I got what I voted for. I gambled. I gambled for the patriarchy in knowing that it doesn't serve my interest because they don't care. They are self-serving with their rich friends, okay? I knew it. And I knew the consequences if I failed on that gamble. And I still gambled. I take the losses. I admit I was disillusioned. I thought I have higher odds than what I thought I had at the time. And I take the losses. I take it. I get deported. I'm never allowed entry into the U.S. This route to the American life is shut for me forever, at least until the next president undoes some of that damage. But we don't know when that's going to happen or if and when it will happen during my lifetime. And you take it. I will actually have some respect for you. But I suspect for the most part, that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is you young men, again, not all of you. I'm not saying this to say all of you, but I'm just saying addressing the collective, okay? And by the way, I would like to mention that whilst young men did break out for Trump, some exit polls say majority still voted for Harris. But I'm just gonna address you like this, okay? You will throw Elon Musk, you will throw all of them under the bus, okay? At this point in society, no one's gonna trust young men. There will be no trust amongst young men ourselves, okay? Because we just destroyed the life of gay young men. We just destroyed the lives of trans young men. However you think, whichever way trans goes, okay, however you associate their final gender, it don't matter. Okay, so, you screw at least half of whoever you consider trans men. Okay, you screwed over Hispanic men. Now, obviously, Hispanic men screwed themselves too, and there's definitely an intersection between those two groups. You screwed over black men. You screwed over white men. Okay, white men who vote Democratic or who are not MAGA heads. They're classic Republicans. They're like the Cheney types, the Romney types, the Haley types. Okay, now you screwed them over. Okay, who else did young men vote against? Okay, you screwed over your own grandfather. His Social Security, his ACA, Obamacare might be overturned. Okay, you sold everyone out for your ticket to get ahead, which you know is probably not going to happen. And you did it anyway. Okay? I don't know how many of you are prepared for consequences. You better be. Because a lot of people already are. And they will not forget, young man. They will not forget what you did this time. Oh. They will pay the price. Okay, don't get me wrong. Whether you will pay the price, they are for certain to pay the price. And you were part of this. Okay? You were part of this. And you were part of this not because you were a fool. You're not as stupid as you pretend you are. And you do this pretending thing to escape accountability. Okay? That's how it goes. Okay? You're not dumb. From the way you speak, from the way you insult your opponents, from the way you string together sentences to hit people where it hurts, clearly there's a high degree of at least verbal intelligence. Okay? The way you're ruthless to your opponents, how racist and sexist and nationalist you are, those words can't come out of a dumb mouth. You are very clever. You are very smart. You knew what you're doing. See, we can't say this about the boomers because some of these boomers are legitimately just wow. I mean, they're incoherent. Okay, they're just sometimes you just can't get to them. Sometimes you wonder, are we in the same species as these people? Okay, we can excuse them. Like not all of them, but we can excuse a lot of them. Young men, no. You are far too well informed. See, you got social media, you got YouTube, you can access cable, you can access Netflix, you got 4chan, you got forum boards, Reddit, Google, TikTok. Okay, there's no way that you can be misinformed unless you allow yourself to, or at least you support those misinformation because it benefits you. Okay, so please don't tell me you were caught in the loop. That excuse is not reserved for you. Okay, it's reserved for those older people who have a real cause, a real reason why they could be actually left out of the media loop. You don't. You did this. You did this as a calculated risk. You miscalculated. And now your next move is not to go down in fires with Trump and his 20% tariff and his mass deportation. If it incurs onto you, you're going to blame Trump. That's what you're going to do. That's what you're going to do. You're going to blame them. And I know that's going to happen. You're going to blame Andrew Tate, okay, for, what do you call that? For selling incel hackery to you, okay? You're going to blame Sneeko for the same thing. You're going to blame Charlie Kirk. You're going to blame, who else was it? Nick Fuentes for selling Nazi ideology. You're going to blame Alex Jones for conspiracy theory. You're going to blame Joe Rogan for being a centrist on issues where he shouldn't be a centrist. You're going to blame everyone, okay? We already know you're going to do that. Okay, and that we can't respect that. We can't respect that. Okay, you won't get what you want. Okay, or at least you got some part of it. You got the little like victory dance thing, and you feel like the future's gonna be bright until again the 20% tariff hits, and then the unemployment wave comes back, the economy crashes, and all that things. Okay, I don't know where you're gonna run from this. I really don't know. Okay, but it's coming. Don't regret. You cognizantly voted for this. Okay, you're not dumb. You're not misinformed. You're not, society didn't fail you. Okay? This was a calculated move. This was a strategic, tactical move that you used your ballot to try to get what you want to get out of life by throwing everybody else, including other young men who did not vote the way you did. Okay? You basically betrayed everyone. You screwed over your father, your grandfather. You screwed over everyone. Now the screwing comes to you. Because a lot of these older folks, they got money saved up. You see? A lot of these folks, they got money saved up. A lot of y'all just got out of college or just got off an apprenticeship, and you go into the industry finding you got no job. You go into market finding there's no employment. And the stocks are crashing. And your little investment that you put in, those are devaluing like crazy. And then you realize your family can't support you because the economy is going to the dumpster. Women are pissed at you. They won't get together and finance anything with you. Young men don't trust each other no more because of what we did to ourselves, or rather what you did to us. Okay, that's what you did to we didn't do this to you. Okay, and you got no friends. The war is in chaos. People are fighting. I hope not literally, but that may happen. You might even be sent to a war. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't tell what's going to happen. But it was a conscious choice. You were not misinformed. Okay? You were not misinformed. Don't tell me you were misinformed. No, stop that. Cut that out. You were not. It was a clear-cut decision. For the most of you, not all of you. Maybe like 10% of you are misinformed. Majority of you are not misinformed. You know you're not. Don't lie. Okay? Don't lie. Don't come to my comments and start lying. I was played. I was duped. You weren't. You knew it's coming. You just had an inkling that it wouldn't. Maybe it's not you. Maybe the domino will skip your block and just topple the next one. Oh, good luck thinking that's gonna happen. It won't. It won't. Everyone's gonna get screwed over. Okay, you're a part of it. In fact, you're the smartest one. You are the smartest part of it. Because other people who say they're misinformed, you can't. It's that simple. Give me the evidence to say you were misinformed. Why would you subscribe to Andrew Tate? Don't you know what he said is misogynistic, and it's hurtful, and it's offensive, and it's just not right? Don't tell me you don't know. You know, you just don't care. Because you're looking at him, you go, wow, he's got cars, he's got babes, he's got houses, actually, yachts, what do you call it, private jets. I don't know if it has those things. And you're like, well, if I could be misogynistic and get that, might as well be misogynistic. You know it's wrong. Don't argue. You know it's wrong. You know, while some of the things he said might make sense, you know, the overarching theme and the goal he's trying to accomplish is evil in itself. And you know it. You're not dumb. Stop playing dumb, man. Come on. Like, sometimes I deal with young men, like ourselves, okay? In this case, I'll speak as ourselves. Dude, we are slippery as heck, okay? Can we stop that? Can we have some integrity and honesty out here? Because otherwise, people won't trust us. And one day, us young men will grow to be older men. And then what are we going to tell our younger men at that time? What are we going to tell Gen Alpha? Now it's Gen Beta already. Gen Beta has already been born. What are we going to tell our Gen Beta boys? And you keep saying there's no good male role models. Are you a good male role model for the Gen Betas? Are you a good role model? You ask yourself that question. Don't blame society. Society never done failed you. You failed society. You want to get what you want out of society, even if that will cause society to crumble. That's the fact. Okay? And society will crumble as what we're seeing now, we don't know. I hope it doesn't. And you may not even get what you wanted to get. So yeah, I mean, it's just sad. And I really hope at this juncture, some of you change. I know my message is not the easiest one to swallow, but you know this to be true. Okay, at some point we have to admit, women don't owe us. Okay, a lot of these older folks, they do owe us because they're actively trying to lead us astray, but we are not being led astray. We are just following it. Most of us are just following. Okay, they're not literally fooling us. Okay, they're fooling some of us. Maybe you will say a lot of us, but there exists a significant proportion of us who knows they're grifting, and we are still buying into their rhetoric because we feel it benefits us, whether it be in the moment of joy when we smack other people down, when we talk down to people of color, when we talk down to women, when we talk down to other countries, men of other countries, when we talk down to people of a different background, different class, we attack them. It feels good, in the moment things. And of course, in the long term, you feel like you could be like them. And of course, by doing that, you actually want to screw over young men, You actually want to screw people like us, like yourself. You actually want to become Andrew Tate. You actually want to become Donald Trump. You actually want to become Nick Fuentes. That you want to be that. And again, hey, you know that. You know that. You want to be them. You abandon your conscience. You have a conscience. I'm not saying you're born evil or psychotic. You're a psychopath. You're the serial murderer. No, I'm not saying that. Okay? You have a conscience. You just dumped it. You just threw it away for this materialistic, just cruel, okay, moralless vision. It's not even a vision. It's just insanity. Okay? I don't know when are we prepared to pick back our conscience, our timeless compass of what is good. I hope these 4 years will be, I hope it's not too painful, but it will be painful. I hope it's painful enough that we finally wake up and realize if in society, young men, whom represents a lot of future together with young women, but particularly young men, if we throw away morality to think that we will get what we want, all we do is we end up playing ourselves and sinking ourselves into the traps laid by those even more immoral than we thought we were. And that's unsustainable. It is unsustainable. This has to stop. We have to take accountability. Look, listen. This is the problem with male accountability. Okay? You want to hear the truth? I will tell you the truth. I mean, I've already lost hundreds of subs. At this point, telling the truth comes at a cost. But it's a cost we better bear now than we try to bear later on, where it's unbearable. Okay? You see? When we say things like, who is better? Okay, I mean, this is a stupid question, but let's just do a comparison. Is it men or women? What are you tempted to say? You probably say men, okay? And you probably refer to people like Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, Socrates, right? That's probably what you would say. But when we say things like Adolf Hitler, now all of a sudden you're like, wait. I'm accountable for all the good men that gave good things to humanity. I'm not Hitler. Why are you trying to group men? Are you saying every one of us is Adolf Hitler? Is he? You are only accountable for those that are deserving of credit, which you didn't do. Okay? You are not Isaac Newton's aide. You were not Socrates' disciple. Okay? You didn't do any of that. Okay? But you just took credit of it. You think, oh, that belongs to men. Somehow it doesn't belong to all of humanity. It's a very weird thing we do in our heads, okay? I don't know how this math works. You take these amazing men for what you did. It's like your pride, okay? It's your special pride for some reason. And these Hitler people, okay? These dictator, these bloody, just insane people, genocidal maniacs. You think it's just that man, that one particular incident is just that man, Okay? You think. That's how you think. That's how a lot of us think. Okay? And that funny thing, you know what is the funny thing? Who killed Socrates? Hmm? See, a lot of you are white supremacists. You think, wow, you keep talking about the Romans, the ancient Greeks. Wow, intellectuals, philosophers, and all mathematicians. Okay, you go you go orgasmic over the ancient people. And you're like, that is white pride. Okay, you know who killed Socrates? Not black people, not white women, certainly. And now you go, wait, no. How can you say white people are anti-intellectual just because we killed the intellectual? Well, then how can you say white men are responsible for intellectuals when you kill the intellectuals? But we don't do that. See, us men, we take tribal credit for any one good instance of us. But no matter how many bad instances of us, we say we do this very precise incision to exactly cut them out of our tribal identity. And this is unaccountable. This is the lack of accountability 101. We only take in the good things to represent us. All these bad things, it's other people. Okay? Now you think there's a line between German whites and American whites. Okay? Now you think there's a difference between the older generation of German Nazis and the younger Germans. Now you're very nuanced on how you slice it. But damn, Albert Einstein? Well, how come you're not saying he's a Jew? Isn't it? Now he's a pride. But before he was a Jew. So which is it? It's a very weird thing. And we keep doing this. You know why we do this? Lack of accountability. The goal on us to say women are the people with no accountabilities. See, now you know what's going to happen after Roe v. Wade got overturned and we might see a nationwide abortion ban. We don't know. We may see it. We may not see it. I'm going to forecast, okay? We're going to see women, okay, basically getting knocked up intentionally to farm child support. It's not like that has never happened before, but you're going to see more of it. Okay, incels, you better be careful. They might trap you. They may try to trap you, and you will say, see, you won't say this has got anything to do with you exacerbating the situation by trying to take control of women. Well, see, now they can't go get abortion. Now what are they gonna do? Okay, first of all, one, they're not gonna have intimacy with you because they don't want to risk pregnancy, and those who want to do it are either have a motive in mind, okay, or two, maybe they just don't care. Maybe these are the people you want to have relations once or twice and you'll find that you caught something. So you done screwed over the free sex market that used to be somewhat safe, and now are only filled with risk takers. You done screwed yourself more, okay? You done screwed yourself more. You didn't think this through. I don't know what you were thinking, honestly, but you were thinking, okay? You were somehow you did the math wrong, and you came to the conclusion that vote for Trump is a vote for men, and now we see men are gonna get huge levels of unemployment, and unemployment hits men disproportionately hard because men do have more mortgage, car loans, right? We have larger financial responsibility, whether it be to the family or to just ourselves. Men are going to be hurt, right? You know that? Well, well, now that you know. Now that young men realize they have crashed their own future, okay, you crash my future and your future. I don't know what you're going to do, honestly. It's going to be 4 years. I don't even know if we're going to vote for a Democrat midterm in 2026, if we even get to vote. Oh. Honestly, it's time to be accountable. It's time to say, whilst there were great men who did great things, that weren't us, not this time. We failed. Society did not fail us. We failed these great men who passed down a wealthy, a bustling, a prosperous civilization into our hands, and we voted with all our power to ruin it for our own self-interest. Those men that came before us, our forefathers, at least the greats amongst them, were not us. And we shouldn't have this shameless association of ourselves with them given what we did. It's time to be accountable. It's time to grow up and own up. We done fucked it up. Okay, not me, you. Not me. Maybe not you. Maybe you're one of those who did not, okay? If you are still watching, and that's great because you might have already changed your mind, maybe, I hope. It's time to own up. Young men, we done effed up. We done effed up. We're going to clean up our own mess. Stop talking about women. Because whilst there are also many young women who voted for Trump, you know the percentages aren't even close. It's like 10 points or something between young men and young women. It's not even close. It's not even within the margin of error, no. Okay? We done screwed up first and foremost, and we'll clean up first and foremost. You know these older guys, not all, some of them, a lot of them, don't have our best interest in mind. And we still voted for them because we feel like we could get something out of it. Insanity. Stop saying society failed young men. Start saying young men failed society. Young men failed society wanting to be these shells upstairs. And because of our actions, we have failed our next generation of young boys who are still in preschool, who has a future waiting them that is not single-handedly, but certainly put a dent into their future because of us. And a lot of us, listen to this, a lot of us would, again, like I said before, will blame Andrew Tate, will blame Sneeko, will blame Charlie Kirk, Nick Fuentes, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Alex Jones, Joe Rogan, the list goes on and on. Stop blaming. Because we're not that stupid. Some of us are kind of dumb. We're not all that dumb. Okay, some of us knew deep inside what they said is going against our conscience. We just didn't care. We didn't listen to that little angel in us. We just went, well, they sound pretty masculine, and certainly they got the materials to prove it. I don't be like that. And it seems like they support this guy. It seems like that's the road to success. So just follow that. I know the consequences doesn't sound pretty, but damn, what if I was right? What if? And now the reality sets in and you go, oh, turns out when society abandons morality altogether, everyone loses. Well, except the old and rich. They picked up massive win. The top 10 people gained $64 billion on a Trump win on the election night in one day. How much did you gain though? How much did you gain? I don't know, but you're definitely gonna stand to lose. That's what we did. Better own up. Stop blaming women. I don't want to hear young society failed young men. No. We were passed by the greats of our forefathers, a amazing, not flawless, not perfect, but an amazing civilization. People died in wars. Women marched. Black people marched. Everyone of every race, every sex, every nationality, every sexual orientation, every class background. There were so many things that everyone else had to do together, setting apart their differences to give us what we have today. And a close, near majority of us said none of that matters. Unless we're taking credit when we're arguing against feminists, we're arguing against women, say, oh, look, men came out of F equals to MA, and somehow we have the face, because we have gotten completely shameless. We're completely shameless today, to say to leech off of our forefathers, the greats amongst us. We still have the face to do that and pretend we got anything to do with it. I'm sorry. If you want your future to be any better, shamelessness amongst men, the lack of moral modesty amongst men, the lack of ethical accountability, social accountability, Has to stop. And this motion has to start today. Don't wait till 2028. Stop procrastinating. Okay? It's precisely because you procrastinated this inner work that you are here today. And it won't get better. It won't just naturally, magically get better by 2028. No, there's work to be done. It will be painful. But I can guarantee you, however painful the inner work is, it's going to be less painful than what you see out here due to our lack of inner work. And with that, look, I just want to close this out by saying I don't hate people. I don't want revenge. I don't really want suffering, though. I know in my past video, as I was very fiery, I sounded very vindictive. I don't really want people to suffer. But I think people will suffer, and from the fact of it, we can make some good things out of it. The fact that we tasted our own medicine, we suffered our own choices, we learned from the school of hard knocks. Okay, and I don't want this to happen. I much prefer Kamala Harris won. She didn't. Not her fault, honestly. I mean, she did a lot of things that they could have got her a higher chance of winning, but that's not the point. Okay, that's not the point. A lot of us consciously voted for a guy who is just horrible. Okay, because either we resonated with the way he said his message, or we want to be like him internally, whether it be in terms of masculinity, in terms of his gusto, or in terms of his the energy, the vibe, or maybe we really think some of these policies will screw people over, but it's good for us. However you want to put it, it was selfishness, mostly, not all, mostly, and we must suffer the consequences of a selfish society. And I hope we learn, but I don't want to get my hopes too high. And I feel like maybe women will learn the lessons and realize actually women aren't even women's best allies, especially not these older Gen X suburban white women. And maybe women will learn this lesson before men. Maybe. We don't know. I don't know. And if they do, they will overtake men. They will. Trust me, they will. If they have their moral awakening before we do, they will overtake us. And we deserve to be a second-class citizen. Okay? If that happens, we deserve it. We deserve the misandry. Okay? We deserve the looking down. We deserve the cold shoulders. Okay? If women having been screwed over by us, not all of us, has enough conscience and accountability to fix their side first, then we fix ours, and they are ahead because of that, they should be ahead. They should be ahead. What else are you going to say? You're going to keep trying to keep them down? I suppose that's what some of us will continue to do, because we can get up. All we can do now is to keep people down, even if that keeps us down even more. See, there are a lot of people out there on our side who says, we love death than they love life. We love their suffering more than we care about our own. There are people out there, a lot of young men are like that. I don't know why. But that's the fact. And we better change. We better get together and say, we're going to fix this. Screw Tate. Screw Trump. Screw Musk. Screw Kirk. Screw all these. Screw Fuentes. Screw all these people. Okay? Screw the Shapiros. Screw the Petersons. Screw the Weinsteins and the Murrays. Out. If you're not willing to do that, then be prepared for a rerun. And be prepared for another 4 years of insane economic policies, insane social meltdown, just unimaginable moral decadence, and the slide of a society into depravity. If that's what you want, then maintain status quo. Keep tuning into these incel hacks and manosphere shills and these goons out here who are proposing, far-right radical ideologies. And of course, you're like this anti-woke warrior, whatever that means. If you really believe that's worse than what these right-wingers are proposing for our society, and you, young man, go ahead. And I know you don't really think that's true, but Again, you see that they are more successful than these woke, purple, armpit hair feminists who look ridiculous, right? You don't want to be that. You want to be this other people. Okay, again, it's selfishness. It's just you want to sugarcoat it and call it the success aesthetic, okay, whatever verbiage, whatever poetry you can draw up to sugarcoat your immense selfishness and lack of awareness of inner voice, the inner GPS that guides you to truth, wealth, real freedom, real moral accomplishment, real happiness and fulfillment and contentment and gratitude in your life. You ignore that? And you know there's a conscious effort for you to ignore that? You're down that dark path and you hit a wall, you're now bloodied up. You know you deserve that consequence. And whilst I always have empathy, I'm afraid at that point I may not have a lot left in the tank for you in particular. And with that, I shall close this video. It's like 40 minutes now. Young men failed society. So it's our job to fix it, to patch it up, to pick it back up to where our forefathers left us. And with that, thank you all for watching.